So in this video, we will be talking about our main character from LOTM, which is Klein. So he was a normal person when he was transmigrated from China to this new world. So when he was transmigrated, he thought that he can do the same ritual again to go back to his hometown. But when he did that, he went into a mysterious place which we call grey fog. In that place, he saw two sparks of light, which he summoned. One was Audrey and the other one was Elgar. And he gave them some code names. And after that, he formed the Tarot Club. And in that meeting, he realized that there are beyonders in this world which can control, like, which have like some powers, supernatural power. Method called acting method, where you can just act according to the potion which was given, and you can just digest it within like 1 to 6 months. But because the thing is, normally it would take around like at least 1 or 2 years. So after that, the Nighthawk contacted him and they asked him that he can become a beyonder, and they gave him some options. And out of those, he chose the Seer pathway, and he took his sequence 9 potion. So this portion was not very like fancy stuff, not and didn't give some superpowers, some divination thing. So by tossing coin and some other techniques, he can just predict some future. And yeah, that's it. He didn't give some superpowers. And by acting methods, he digest it in like a few months. And after that, he asked them indirectly that he had digested the sequence 9 portion and he want to advance to sequence 8. So yeah, they tested him and yeah, his portion was digested, and they gave him the sequence 8 sequence of the same pathway, which was clown. So yeah, at this point, he got some superpowers like agility, and he can do some air bullets as well. Sequences were covered in the season 1, where he went from sequence 9 to sequence 8, and in the last of sequence and in the last of season 1, he became some like suspect, and he went to another city and took another name. And from now on, he will whenever take advancement ritual, so he would do it illegally, because the thing is, there are two type of beyonders in this world. The number one was the beyonders which are like associated with some church or organization, so they are the official beyonders. But some are illegal beyonders which do advancement and become beyonders illegally. So client become like one of them. So at sequence 7, he become magician. At that point, he can do damage transfer, like whenever he got some damage in some critical area like in the lung or in the heart, um, as long as he didn't die, he can transfer into some non-lethal part like legs or arms. So this is one of the power. Other than that, the power he gained was fire jump, so he can do jumps in the air to dodge some attack. Also, he got some powers like making papers of himself, and he can substitute it within the fight. At that point, he got a potions for sequence 6 faceless. So at that point, so he can do disguise of another person, his height, his behavior, his clothes, anything. So yeah, this was one of the powers, and all the menace he created in the sea while being German Sparrow was like insane. So at sequence 5, we got Marinist. At a certain distance, he can convert any living thing into a into his puppet, and his mind wiped away. He is like a living corpse, but controlled by the client. And I guess at that point he realized that there's also a sequence zero of like he realized that sequence zero of every pathway, but at that point he realized that there's also a sequence zero portion of the Seer pathway as well, which which is called the Fool, and ironically he called himself the Fool from the very beginning. So these were the normal beyonders till now. So from now on, we went from normal beyonders to beyonders like demigods. And sequence 4 and sequence 3 are called the demigods. Each of time he advances, the previous powers he got become like plus plus. Like like they also advance. So the range of he can control the puppets till the end become like 500 or 1 kilometer. So from like few meters to kilometers. So at sequence 4, he is called Bizarro Sorcerer. Then the thing is, anyone can recognize that yeah, these two person, the client and the puppet are two different persons. But at that point, he can send his like worms of life to that puppet and the person, and the person will recognize it, and both are German, Sparrow or Klein. And at sequence 3 it is called scholar of yore. And yeah, that is crazy because the thing is at that point he can do historical projection, like he can summon any person, anything from the past. So he can control, he can, if he loses some, like a tool, a glove, and he can just pull it like from past for like around 30 minutes or 1 hour. And from now on we will be going from like demigods to the angels. So sequence 2 and sequence 1 are called the or angels. Or at this sequence he can just like grant wishes of others, and by doing that he got some his wishes as well, so he can grant his wishes as well. But the main thing was that by granting wishes of others, he can um he got enough like wishes, so he can just resurrect himself like 4 times. So this is one of the key things in the seer pathway. So at sequence 1, which is called attendant of mysteries, so at that point we know that he can control like a one or two puppets. But the thing is, at that point he can also manage a city of whole like people of puppets, and which he called a utopia. And all the people in that city would have like their conscience, their habits of their own. Also he got some power of grafting, so he can combine two tools or two things which are not like combined together, but he can control, he can graft it for some time. And after sequence 1, and here come the sequence 0 of the seer pathway, which is called the fool. At that point, after becoming like the fool, he can like fool the time, fate and history. So yep, it is one of the OP power. You can't imagine what are the scope of this power is. So whatever you think, you can just fool the times, fool the fate, fool the history. So yeah. But the thing is, he didn't even stop there, because at that point he realized that the other entity in him, like the old one, um, is like the previous Lord of the Mysteries. Like ironically, the name of this series is Elotium, Lord of the Mysteries. So he tried to so he tried to like take the battle internally, and by for doing that he went into the slumber, and he made it so he can become powerful. Also he tried to like, while in his slumber he tried to protect the earth from the outer deities, because at that point he realized that uh, the at that point he realized that the scope of this world is not limited to only the earth, but there are some outer deities as well.